Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast. We are here with another episode, and we are here still beating the drum that the Tampa Bay Rowdies are undefeated. They went on the road, tied Rhode Island 1-1. Could have gotten all 3 points. Rhode Island got one late, but I think that before the season started, before the weekend started, if you said that they were going to take a point, you would take that to the bank. So we're still undefeated, still an undefeated podcast, and we are back for another week.
What's that feeling like, giving up a goal in the last 10 minutes or so? Because you're really feeling like, oh man, the Rowdies, they're going to escape this one with a W. Then that happens, and then I go, all right, let's just get a tie and just get out of here, please, unscathed.
I think in that situation, and I can't speak for them, but at least for me, when games like that would happen, if you went there before the game and you thought, okay, we're going to get a point out of this, you would take that. You would sign off on that all day long. Rhode Island's a good team. It's a difficult place to play. The weather, the elements were tough. And you give up that late goal, so it's kind of like that immediate feeling of like, damn, we could have got all three. Like, we could have got all 3 points here. But then I think by the time you get undressed, you're like on the bus, you're headed back, you're kind of like, you know what, I'll take a point early in the season, good point on the road against an Eastern Conference team, and you just take it to the bank and move on to next week.
And so right now, still sitting undefeated.
Undefeated. Only team in American soccer, only team in America, I think, in all sports. That's what we've started saying around the facility. So don't quote me on that, but undefeated. 3 ties on the season, 5 wins, 1 win in the Prinks Tires Cup. We have another Prinks Tires Cup game coming up this weekend against Miami. It's a big one. They really need to get all 3 points to secure the idea of advancing, but still undefeated.
Are there any superstitions that go along with kind of like being undefeated? Is there anything you think that the Rowdies are doing? I can't imagine Coach really is doing anything differently at all. Anything that the players are doing to try to go about keeping this up?
I wanted to ask a couple guys today, but I also know when I was superstitious, like during winning streaks, the longest streak that I ever went on in my career when I was on a team was 11 games.
Okay.
And within those 11 games, you think about what you did on the first game, and then you just like keep repeating it. Like I had weird stuff like.
Were you in net for 11 straight?
Yeah,
oh,
so
wow.
We didn't win 11 straight. So, but like there were ties mixed in there. But it was a hell of a run. But you start doing weird things like you drink water and then you spray the water on your gloves and like you have to use the towel. And then there were different things that I was doing, different songs that I was listening to before the game.
Hopefully no more like spitting on anybody or anything like that.
No, but I mean, sports in general is a pretty superstitious idea, right? At least like that's the way that I've always gone about it. So
is it superstitious because you believe in it, or is it the superstition? It breeds camaraderie amongst the guys.
Oh, I don't know that people are doing. I don't know collectively if people are doing it.
I
had my own individual things. I had my own individual things going on. I don't know if there's a team thing that they have going on. Santi, our camera guy, he's on the road more than I am, so he might know. But I think that if there is something that's a team thing, they're probably not going to let us in on it.
Do you think that keepers are probably more superstitious than other players that are on the pitch?
I would tend to think so.
Yeah,
I would tend to think
so.
We're the ones that have that little bit of a screw loose, so they say. Yeah. So I think that the things that I was doing, there was always something I would say during the anthem. There was always I would always eat chicken parm the night before the game. I was doing stuff with my water bottle, doing stuff with my towel during that streak. But then the game that you lose, you just throw it all out the window.
Let me ask you this. I was watching the game on Saturday night, and I really thought that, like Rhode Island, I thought they had a really cool stadium, and I've been noticing some of the visiting stadiums the Rowdies have been at this year, and so it made me want to ask you. You've obviously played in different leagues. Are there some visiting stadiums that like really stand out to you, either the facilities or just where it was placed in the city as far as like the backdrop?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, so I had different things that I would evaluate stadiums for. And it was funny. I wrote something like this when I was sitting on the bench in Salt Lake. I had a whole guide of stadium grading criteria.
Really?
Yeah, but like from the view of the bench, because like I was a bench player and I was like, this is a funny thing to do.
We got to get this published, dude. That sounds good.
Well, it's funny. I was writing it, and then our PR guy was like, I don't know that you want to put that out there because then you just look like you're just a solidified bench player. And I was like in my mid-20s, and they're like, I don't think you want to put that out there. Okay. So it's sitting on a hard drive somewhere. But I had a lot of criteria. It was like view, it was comfort of the bench, it was stadium atmosphere, and just like overall vibes, I think. I had a whole criteria. It was funny. But for me, I think that the places that were very soccer specific were the best places to play. Like I loved playing at Kansas City, which is a weird one. People might not see that now. I mean, for me, the best place I ever played was Portland. That's why I never left that place, even when I had the opportunity to leave, and I probably should have left. I just loved playing there. That was always fun. I mean, I played at Mercedes-Benz. That was cool just because it was so big. And then, I mean, the coolest ones for me were the places that we used to go to Central America a lot. So we would play in stadiums where it was like, You know, you got the rusted fence with the barbed wires and the ditches and like all the different things that you think about soccer.
Yeah,
and,
how did
like,
you rate
the world
those?
game.
How'd you rate those stadiums?
Just coolness. Yeah, coolness and history. You know, but there's different things that are good about different stadiums. But for me, I think, you know, Portland was always my favorite. So I'm just going to say that for
How was
sure.
Salt Lake?
It was good. There was like mountains around, and it was a good, very scenic thing. And I mean, I think that that's something cool about Rhode Island is Rhode Island does a good job. They just built this stadium recently. I think that Rhode Island in general, they don't have pro sports really, so they're very fired up about the team. And, you know, for the Rowdies, that's why it was so big for them to go in there and get a point, because not a lot of teams go to Rhode Island and get a good result. And especially when you talk about, you talk about the superstitions, we talk about the streaks going on. It's not easy to not lose a game of soccer for this long. Like, that's not an easy feat, because like a lot of things can go wrong throughout the course of a game where it's like, oh, that didn't go our way, like the luck, or John Cooper, the hockey gods weren't on our side tonight. But for the Rowdies to continue to go on the road, do it at home, fight, battle against these teams that are good, and they all present different problems. I mean, Rhode Island was a different team than they've played against before, and they were able to go up there and get a point.
It was great to see Pablo get a goal too, man. It's I feel like we really got him and I have like a thing going on there. So
he's a man of the people too. He's a good man of the people.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Now we had Clyde Best on the show last week, and he had the documentary that was coming out. Did you end up seeing it with the team?
We did, yeah. So the team went and saw it Thursday night before they traveled, and then we kind of had like a private viewing for the Rays and the Rowdies staff on Friday afternoon. And it was good. I mean, it's a story that I think is really compelling to a lot of people, and I think that there's a lot of different layers to it outside of just soccer. But just knowing that, they were kind of calling him like the unknown best story in sports. And before we sat down with him, I didn't know much about that story either. Like, I've heard the name, like I knew what he did, but I didn't know much about the entire story. I mean, he was 17 when he went over and, was a figure for West Ham in a time where, racial injustice was like running off the charts. And, for him to solidify himself in that environment and everything he did in paving the way for other players, it was a really cool, put together documentary.
Good. That's cool that the Rowdies had, the staff go and had the players go and everything like that. So.
Yeah, they did it. They did a really good job with it, and I think that, if people do get the opportunity to see it, it's something that, especially in the world of soccer, it's a story that people should know about.
Now, are you hiding that, or does that have to do with our guest today?
Yeah, no, this is for our guest. We got Jordyn Listro coming in from the Sun. She's a Tampa girl. She, she went to USF. Well, she's from Canada, so I'm going to talk to her about Canada and the World Cup.
Wow.
But she's going to come in today, talk to us. She does some USL broadcasting, so I kind of want to get her vibe on what the rest of the league is looking like, have conversations about, the different teams that the Rowdies should be looking out for, some different challengers and things like that.
Is her season over?
I think there's one more game left after today.
Okay.
I think there's one more game left. But so just pick her brain a little bit about the season, get to know her a little bit more. She's somebody that's been around Tampa. She's a big figure for the Sun, and I thought it'd be fun to bring her on for the conversation. And I want to ask her about the superstition thing as well, because I want to see if she'll spill a little bit.
Yeah, I need to talk to her about youth soccer too. I got a couple questions about that, if that's okay, if I dig into that.
Yeah, of course. We got to figure it out. So one of the things that I want to ask you this question. It has absolutely nothing to do with soccer, but it has to do with like fatherhood, superstition, and kind of like the general basis of what we've been talking about.
All right.
All right, so bear with us, audience, please.
No, they love this. This
All
is
right,
great stuff.
so I want to know, my daughter, okay, she's in the softball playoffs tonight.
Oh, boy.
So by the time you're listening to this, my daughter's team either won or lost. She cried or she's happy. We'll figure that out. But I'm the coach. Okay, I'm one of the coaches. Hear me out.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I'm one of the coaches, but we started the season 0-4. Okay, terrible start to the season. And then because I had to do a couple things with the Rowdies on Monday nights, I didn't make it to practice. We have other coaches too. I didn't make it to practice for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
We won those weeks.
Yeah.
I said to myself and the other coaches, I'm not going back to practice until we lose. Because clearly this is something that, like, me not being at practice works.
Okay.
And I do pitch for the team on game days. So, like, my role is the pitcher of the team. And we haven't lost. We've ripped off 8 straight wins to end the season. I haven't been to practice in 2.5 months. And it got to the point where I had to tell my daughter, I said, like, I'm very superstitious when it comes to sports, and I would love to go to your practices and be involved with the team more on practices instead of just showing up on game days and pitching. But we haven't lost since I stopped showing up.
So is it the game? It's a game tonight, not a practice.
Oh, playoffs, baby.
It's the play. Okay, and you're pondering not going.
No. I'm just saying, like, is that too much? Like, is it too much superstition?
Oh.
Bringing it to a 9-year-old softball league where the coach has stopped showing up to practice. One of the coaches has stopped showing up to practice because once I stopped showing up, the team ended up ripping off 8 straight wins.
All right. Couple things. One of them, I think you were using that as an excuse not to go to practice because you got a lot of stuff going on, and nothing wrong with that, by the way. Okay, those kids, they'll absolutely wear you out. As a father, putting superstition on your daughter's plate where she's got to figure out what that means. Well, it means daddy's not showing up. That's going to be a lot for her down the road when she is dealing with mental health, which we've talked about a lot on this show, that daddy didn't show up to the practices because he had, some superstition going on. How's a therapist going to, relate to that? So I'm going to say that this is all bad, but if you guys win tonight, just forget all that ever happened and you're good to go. You guys got the championship. Or is it just a playoff game and then you guys advance after that?
No, if we win the playoff game, then we advance to the championship on Thursday.
Okay, all right.
But it got to the point where the other coaches were even saying, like, don't show up to practice.
Oh, man.
I got everybody buying into it.
I don't I think you have to go. I think you have to
Well, I'm not missing the game.
Yeah.
I haven't missed a game throughout this entire stretch. And I will say that for the first little bit of time, it was the idea of, you know what, like, it's hard for me to get somewhere on 4:30 on a Monday because I'm pretty busy. Mm-hmm. But then it got to the point where I was like, I can't show up.
They don't need
me,
I can't
break the curse. I can't break the curse. Me at practice is a curse. So I guess my question is, if you're listening to this, is that too much as a parent? Is that taking superstitions in sports a little bit too far?
Yes.
Or are you, like, bought in the way that I am in terms of superstition in sports?
No, you bad boy.
I don't know. Maybe we'll ask Jordyn too. We'll throw it to the court of public opinion. But okay, anyways, thank you for my little side tangent.
How's your daughter? Is she good?
Dude, she struck out. So the kids are allowed 4 pitches. And kids are allowed to throw the 4 pitches.
Okay.
And then the parents or the coach comes in and pitches to your own team so that so that they get another chance to hit. And my daughter, it was 7-6 on Saturday, and she's pitching in the last inning. The bases were loaded. She struck out 2 batters, which is, like, almost impossible in that league. And she had 2 strikes on the last batter before she grounded out, so we won the game 7-6. It was electric.
There we go, baby.
It was electric.
Okay.
It was like I haven't been that jacked up for a sporting event in quite some time.
So last time you played?
It was pretty sweet. Yeah, it was pretty good. So she's crushing. But that's a good thing, too. Like, we want to talk about Jordyn, about girls and women in sports. And so, listen, I realize that story is an outrageous one to tell on Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast, but it all ties together.
Yeah, we're just going to have to find out if her dad used to skip her practices growing up.
And maybe if he did, and she's a
off.
pro, because it all paid off. So, all right, so Jordyn's jumping on the podcast. This weekend, the Rowdies are on the road again. It's another Prinks Tires Cup game, so it doesn't count against the USL standings. The Rowdies will be undefeated in the USL for another week because this game doesn't count towards that. But it is very important. We've talked about the importance of trying to win the state of Florida, trying to win every trophy that we're a part of. And this is a huge game. They're going down to Pitbull Stadium. They're playing against Miami. Miami's an improved team this year. So this will be a good one. This will be a dogfight, and there's a lot on the line for this one. And we have a bunch of Tampa Bay Rowdies stuff coming up as well.
All right.
And one of the things we're going to talk about is there is a Tampa Bay Rowdies and Sun collaboration summer camp that is coming. So we'll get you all the details on that. There's a 5v5 tournament for kids coming that the Rowdies are sponsoring on July 11th, so we'll get you the details on that. And then there's a lot of different summer camp stuff going on. And the next home game, last thing, do you have something to say before I shout out the next home game?
I was waiting to see if you were going to say yoga on the pitch or not.
That was coming up.
Were you okay?
Yeah. So youth programming, boom. If you have kids and you're listening to this and you want to get involved in summer stuff, check out the Tampa Bay Rowdies website. But then the most important part of all this is Al Lang Stadium, May 23rd. We have yoga on the pitch. We have a great instructor, Danny. She's awesome. She's going to be there early in the morning, putting on yoga for people that want to be on the field, do their yoga, get their yoga in. There'll be mimosas after yoga.
Oh, naughty.
Huge thing. Mimosas after yoga, so that'll be awesome. And then that night, it's Military Appreciation Night. We're taking on Phoenix Rising, May 23rd, Al Lang Stadium. I think I got all the plugs in.
You got a couple weeks to get prepared, people.
Yeah, we need people out there. Let's get the numbers up there. Let's get people out there. What we have going on at Al Lang Stadium, what this team is doing right now is very, very special. And
don't be afraid to do child's pose on the pitch.
If you're following the Tampa Bay Rowdies now, it's a team that's going to be, I can't promise you they're going to be undefeated, but it's a team that has a lot of success. It's a very good team, and you're going to jump on board later in the season when we get closer to the playoffs anyway. So let's jump on board now and hop aboard the Tampa Bay Rowdies Express.
Choo-choo.
There we go. All right, Jordyn Listro, enjoy. Coming up next. If you are looking for a summer camp this summer, the Tampa Bay Rowdies and the Tampa Bay Sun have teamed up to bring you the first time ever that the two professional clubs will be running a camp together. The camp runs from June 8th to the 12th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's for ages 6 to 14 of all skill level. There'll be different guest appearances there. There'll be special guests there helping run the clinic. And not to mention, it is at the Tampa Bay Sun training facility. So we are coming across the bridge and teaming up to run this camp. All the information that you need is at the Tampa Bay Rowdies website. Just make sure you click on the youth camp section of the website. Get yourself signed up for this first time ever camp because it's something that we want to keep going and we think that you're going to really enjoy it. So sign up today. As promised, Tampa Bay Sun superstar? We'll go with superstar. Jordyn Listro's in the house. Thank you for joining us. We announced the camp this week with the Rowdies and the Sun, so we thought it'd be great to bring in former USF Bull. Yes. Came back to Tampa to represent Tampa's first women's professional soccer team, won the championship, all these good things. And we're happy to have you on. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So the first question I want to ask you is that earlier in the conversation when Seth and I were kind of doing our thing before you got here, superstitions in sports. Okay, so Seth thinks that I have kind of betrayed my daughter a little bit because I'm coaching her softball team.
I just think you're doing future damage, but we'll see. You know,
yeah, future damage to her.
Okay.
You know, paying the therapist future bills. And I stopped showing up. I missed a couple practices. We hadn't won a game. I missed a couple practices. I'm one of the coaches, and after I missed those practices, we won 2 straight. So I was like, oh well, like let's just see if this is a thing.
Okay.
Didn't show up again. Won 3 straight. We've won 8 straight. I haven't showed up to practice in 2.5 months. I told my daughter it's a superstitious thing.
Yeah.
But
he's enjoying doing other things on Monday night.
Yeah, it's also practice is also 4:30 on a Monday, right?
Okay.
Tough time to make. But now it's a superstitious thing, and I think that's okay. And I think that's okay that my daughter knows it's a superstitious thing in sports.
I mean, 8 games straight, I would have to stay home as well.
At this point,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you have to stay home. But, I mean, superstitions in sports, I feel like I started so superstitious. Like, I had to put my right shin guard on before my left, my right sock before my left, and eat the same thing all the time. Had to wear, like, a certain color hair elastic, and now I'm, like, the complete opposite.
How did it start, though? How did you start doing it? Did you do it a certain way and you had a great game, or it was just kind of a OCD thing that turned into superstition?
I think, yeah, probably an OCD thing when I was like little, and then I just continued it, and then I was successful, so I just kept doing it, and then at USF, I like had to stick with the same thing. I had a really good freshman year, so I'm like, I need to wear the pink headband. If I didn't have the pink headband on the road, I'm like, oh, bad game, here we go. So I didn't want that much stress on me before games, and I feel like superstitions just, they carry all that stress for players. It's like, it's not necessary. So now I just switch everything up and hope for the best, and it works.
Did you have any superstitions last year when the team won the title? Were there any superstitions going around the locker room?
Not really from the team, I would say. I mean, my coach, Denise, is very superstitious. Like, we have to have night practice. I don't know if you guys know about this, but we train on Wednesday night when we have a home game at 7:30 at night. So, you know, me being 30, it's tough to get myself up for a Wednesday night training session. Let me just say that. But, yes, you know, the younger girls are singing karaoke before training. Don't really participate in that, but I'm glad they have the energy. And, yeah, so she has that superstition, and I think she definitely has more. I can't think of them right now, but girls on my team are superstitious when it comes to, like, uniform. But we didn't really have any as a team.
Okay, so, like, that's what I said, too. I don't think there's a team once. I think it's all individual. So is this, like, this karaoke? I kind of want to address this karaoke.
Gosh.
Is this, like, a locker room thing, or is this, like, you guys go to you find some random bar that, you know.
Sounded like they're at, like, the Blue Martini
right?
ahead.
Like on a Wednesday afternoon because they're trying to kill time till 7:30.
No. It is, like, not even locker room. It's just facility. It's, like, right where we eat our meals. They just put the speaker there, and everyone just, like, takes turns singing and listening to music.
Is it good stuff? Like, what do we got? Sabrina Carpenter? We got oldest? Like, what are we working
with? I feel like it's a mix. Every week is different. There's a lot of country music fans on the team. I'm one of them now, newfound country music girl. But we do country, a little Tate McRae, Taylor Swift. I'm a Swiftie, so I do enjoy that. I won't participate, like I said, but I do like listening to it.
You just like to sit in the background and smile.
Yeah. Or I'm like running around doing some activation stuff because I'm crazy about that. But
superstitious.
Yeah. It's more like routine.
Okay. Yeah. Tomato.
Is there any commentary that you're tired of hearing about surrounding women's sports? You know, even the WNBA had their first game, and I think Skylar Diggins from Chicago's like a lot of people showed up considering nobody watches women's sports. Is there something that you're kind of tired of hearing about, or are you out of that world where you don't hear any of that, the negativity or anything kind of surrounding what you do?
I think you don't really hear it as much anymore. Before it was, nobody watches women's sports, and we would have like just a lot of people trolling on our Instagram, or even last year when we had a Gainbridge video of our championship, and I had said, it's so nice to see all the little girls out there, and you always have people like, oh, you mean the 5 people that are watching?
Man.
And so yeah, it's tough, but obviously you see the crowds now, and it's just incredible for women's sports, and the growth of it over the last couple of years is just obviously incredible. So
well, that's something that you kind of need, you kind of need somebody to kind of break that ground and be the trendsetters for things like that. And one of the things that, as we've gotten to know each other, one of the things that I think is really cool about your career is that you were really one of the first players to take the leap into this new league. Right, you were playing in the NWSL. I'm sure you had the opportunity to stay in the NWSL. What was the decision in doing that? Was that something that was more of a motivation for, what I mean, like I want to be one of the faces of this league to really try and build this thing? Was it coming home to Tampa? Like, what was really the motivation for that? Because I think that everybody needs groundbreaking people to have success, and I think that you were really one of those.
Thanks. I think it was a couple things. Obviously, getting older and having the experience under my belt, I just value kind of my life outside of soccer as well. And so to have the opportunity to be what I call home now in Tampa with my husband, with college friends, with just a support system means so much to me. So that was one thing. And then this community, went to USF, had that fan base, and I'm just so passionate about the city of Tampa. I love to see it grow. I love all the new things that are popping up, and I wanted to be back here and to be there for the start of it. I think I couldn't turn that down. So yes, it was incredible to play in the NWSL. The league has gotten to a great point, and you can see that. But to be a part of something in Tampa, I had to change and take that opportunity, because you don't get it, and people don't get it in their career, and I'm lucky enough to be able to do it in the city I love.
Do you see the difference from kind of when you started this journey and this adventure to where it is now? Because I think that the Sun, they do a good job. Like, you see the shirts, you see the merch, you see the things everywhere, but it's really about, you're seeing young girls that are playing, like you're seeing young girls that are representing. So is that a change that you've seen kind of play out in live action because the Sun came to town?
Yeah, I think we all took kind of a leap of faith the first season. We had no idea what it was going to be. They announced the team name, I think, in July of the previous year, and I had actually went to that announcement, and I was like, what is this team going to look like? Where are we going to play? And
were you a member of the team at the time? Like, did you know you were coming? Okay, you were just there.
Yeah, there was actually breakout rooms that the ownership was doing, and I got on one of the calls and talked about what I liked about a logo, and they were like, wait, you're like a player on Orlando Pride. I was like, I know, but I'm so passionate about having a soccer team in Tampa. I don't know if I'm going to be on it ever, but I want to help in any way I can. So
that's when they knew. They were like, we're going to get her. they're like, oh, she's not going to play? Oh, okay.
So no, it's just so nice to see. That's my favorite thing about playing in Tampa, is seeing those little girls, little boys at the end of games just asking for an autograph and being able to spend time with them. I remember when I was 10 years old going to Canadian national team games and running down to the bottom of the stadium asking for a hair elastic or just something that I could wear and bring home. That was, one of my idols. And now it's just the roles are reversed. Now I'm in that position, and it keeps me going. And especially with the season that we've had, when you finish a game and you see their smiling faces, you can't be mad after a loss.
Do they try to get your shoes and you're like, I need these? Or
They
like,
did.
Yeah.
But last year I promised one of the girls, she's always there, she's so sweet, her name is Sadie. She said, can I have your cleats? I'm like, I promise you after the playoffs. I just need them to last me through the playoffs. And I gave it to her right after we won.
You gave her the shoes that you won the championship in?
Oh yeah, it's sweaty,
that's cool.
disgusting. They're probably so gross, but I hope she liked them.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's cool. That's a part of history right there. I think that's something really cool about the professional soccer scene in Tampa anyway, right? Like, I think that it's a very intimate setting. And, I've been to Sun games where you see the players giving autographs after the game, making sure everybody leaves with a smile. The Rowdies do the same thing. And I think that that's something that's really unique about the Tampa Bay area, and it's cool that athletes like yourself take such pride in spreading that. And I think that that's something that you come from Tampa, like you not come from Tampa, but you went to school in Tampa, you have this history, and like spreading that, I just think it's awesome.
What's the level of trash talk like in your sport?
Oh my God. Did you do research on me or something?
I did a little.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I know that you have a red card and everything, but I mean, why? What happened? Are you
Yeah,
naughty? I mean,
yeah. I don't know that we know this one.
Oh, goodness.
I'll just sit back. Let's just be honest here. We're all friends.
Yeah, no one.
Okay.
Listen, it's just between us, just
Okay.
between the three of us.
Well, you see, last season it wasn't as bad. I am very aggressive, so I do get a lot of yellow cards. But the
Okay.
trash talk was like minimal. I didn't really speak that much in the game. I just would, shove people and stuff. But that's a different story. So this year we just haven't been getting the results, and I think my frustration has built up. So now I'm like known for picking fights on the field, and I try and get my teammates involved. I'm like, can you help me? Like, come on, this is like fun. And they're like, Jordyn, just give it up. Like, it's fine. But every single team this year has said to me, like, you are crazy, because I get on the field and I see red, only red, the darkest red, and just something comes over me and I am just chatting. And I honestly think it starts on set pieces. I'm always a man marker, so I always try and push them and not try and lose my mark. And then we just start fighting, and then from there it just takes off. So.
Does it get personal at all? Like, do you ever, hey, I follow you on Instagram and your boyfriend's ugly or anything?
Oh God.
It does, doesn't it? Wow.
We played against North Carolina, and that was the first time that I got personal. But I apologized, and we're good now. But I had to apologize because I felt terrible. I went too far.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
No, I can't say.
I know. I didn't want it. I knew it was bad. It's bad. It feels bad, Jeff.
I had to bring up the boyfriend, the relationship, and that just, can't do it.
How much Wikipedia research are you doing before games?
None, but it's just like mutual friends. Soccer world small, things. So I use that. But my husband's always like, Jordyn, I don't know why you try and pick a fight, because you can't fight. Like, I wouldn't be able to throw a punch. I don't know how. He's like, so I don't know what you're doing. And I'm
You just
like,
grab the hair. You grab the
Yeah.
hair and start going to town.
I don't know what my first thing would be. Maybe the hair pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lot of fights I see on Twitter. The girls grab the hair. It seems to work
It's
out
like
for them.
you're like an enforcer in hockey. You're just
Yeah.
trying to set the tempo. You're trying to get the
True.
girls to jump in on the fight.
Yes. Yeah. The tackles are good. That sets the tone. But maybe I need to close my mouth a little more.
Yeah, dial it back quite a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm a nice girl off the field.
I mean, yeah, that story kind of caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. I knew about the tackles and the red cards, but I didn't know you were
Yeah.
doing the research, trying to find the boyfriends and all
Oh
that.
gosh. Yep. Okay.
So what is it like being married to another professional athlete? And have you ever made fun of them because soccer seems like more of a grind than golf?
Always.
Okay. Good.
We can both agree that I'm more athletic and soccer's a harder sport physically. Mentally, I will say golf is very challenging. And
But in golf, you can't even make noise. I mean,
No.
come on.
and it's so different. I didn't grow up in Florida around golf, so I had no idea about the sport. I thought it was the most boring thing ever, but obviously now I've grown to like it.
Notice she didn't say love. She's still working on it, though.
Yeah, I mean, when he plays well, I love it. When he doesn't, it's a long 18 holes, let me tell you. But no, it's great. I mean, we both support each other in the best way, and we both understand the lifestyle, so it just works really well.
Do you guys have that type of banter though? Like if someone does poorly, are you guys able to have that type of banter where it's taken in good strides?
I'm more of the tough love kind of person, and he's just like, Jordyn, I don't need that. Be nice to me right now. So I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah, he probably really needs you for the mental aspect of
Yeah.
it. So I could see the tough love could really probably throw him sideways.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Man, condolences.
We're
huh?
working through this.
Hey, we're working on it for you, man. We're gonna work on it for you. Golf's a tough mental sport. You gotta be able to have that comfort zone when you come home after a rough round.
And it's just hard. You guys have probably seen my swing on Instagram. It is absolutely terrible. It's been 9 years of us together, and you think I could, hit a golf ball. Can't. So
Can you kick a soccer ball?
better probably than I can swing a golf club. So yeah, it is a very hard sport. So I have to give him some credit for that.
Let me ask you a question about youth sports. My daughter's 8, so she's been playing, I don't know, is it U10, U9, whatever it is. And so they had, co-ed, boys and girls. And I thought, okay, yeah, let's put her in there playing against boys. It'll make her better. I don't know if it did or not. She really just seemed to be kind of grossed out, when the boys would sweat on her or get near her. Do you feel like there's any sort of payoff, at least at that young of age, to play co-ed, or do you think that there's nothing wrong with just keeping girls in their with themselves and not have to, bring the boys into the mix?
Yeah, I think I mostly just played with girls growing up, and actually the same age. I know a lot of people play up a year or 2 years, but I just really played with the same age group. And I mean, it worked for me, but I love training in the off season with guys now. I think just their speed of play makes you so much better. So yeah, at that age, I kind of stayed with girls, but now I can really appreciate training with guys.
That's interesting. So you never, like, throughout the course of your career, you never played up, you never played with guys, you just stuck to your same age group and stayed the course?
Yeah, I think I was more of like a late bloomer. Like, I was good when I was 8 years old. I was scoring a bunch of goals, but then when it got more competitive, like 14, 15, I just slowly got better and was just kind of middle of the pack, and then kind of took off later on. So
Oh, that's interesting, because like that's a good story too, though, for kids to listen to, because you don't hear as much about that nowadays. It's like everything has to start at such a young age. It's like you got to be a pro by the time you're 11, or else you're already too late.
no.
It's just about having fun, right? At this, when they're kids, it's like, yeah,
And I think you can learn the basic things that will, take you to the next level. And that's what I learned at around 14, is just like what hard work actually means, and just being consistent in my routines and learning about recovery and nutrition, and showing up early, and all those little things kind of just add up, and then it helps you in the pro environment and the college environment.
Good stuff. So transition a little bit from your life on the field to transition a little bit off the field as well. So we actually met, I think the first time we met, like, we've heard about each other, I think, quite a bit, because there are different things we're supposed to work together on that never came together. But we met down at Vista, which Vista is where you pretty much, it's the hub for USL, NWSL broadcasting. And you're an active player doing the broadcasting. And to me, that kind of blew my mind, because it's a grind to go down there. But is that the passion that you have? Is that where you want to take your life after this, is being in the broadcasting space? Or is it just something that you're like, hey, I have a free weekend, my husband's playing golf, I don't want to watch 18 holes, I'm going to go down to Vista and watch and broadcast some USL games?
I actually used to do medical device sales, which I really enjoyed. So I've always kind of thought about what I want to do post soccer. It's always been in the back of my mind. I'm not somebody that just thinks about soccer and then, when I retire, I'll figure it out. I just have always kind of been a planner. And so I did really enjoy medical device sales. But a couple years ago, my agent had said to me, Jordyn, have you ever considered going into broadcasting after soccer? And I was like, no, it's not really something that I want to do. And he's like, you should look at it. Like, I think you would be successful in it. You'd like it. And I'm like, okay. And then I've seen players retire on my previous teams, and they've gone into it, and I'm like, wait, maybe I can be good at this, or I can see myself doing it. And so I reached out to a couple people, and Matt from the USL office connected me with the people at Vista and got me to call a couple games. And it's crazy because there's no guide on how to call a game or how to be an analyst.
It's an art form.
And I was shocked, because I just love being prepared for things. And I'm like, wait, you just kind of make it up as you go. And they've been so helpful with me at the USL office, just like teaching me. And I go there every week for a little course. I just kind of want to get reps, because it is something that I really enjoy doing now. And hopefully when I retire, it's something I can get into.
What's been you talk about how you just kind of wing it. Yeah. I was the same thing. Like, you go down there like, hey, talk about the game. And you're like, I don't know anything about structure. I don't know anything about flow. What do you think for you has been like the hardest thing to get over with calling games? Like, is there one thing that you could pinpoint? Because I absolutely know mine and where I've changed 100%.
I think it's just hard calling men's games, just because I'm so familiar with the female game and all the players I've played against, so I can speak about them for hours. I don't know as much about the players in depth or the teams, just because obviously I'm not playing in those leagues. So that part is hard, just to give that much more to each game. But the hardest thing for me, I think, is replays, because that is your time to shine, and they happen so fast. I'm like, wait, I need to gather my thoughts. And then it's like, nope, you're live.
You want a replay of the replay before you see the replay.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. That part is tough, because it is like, you take it over, like, this is your shining moment. You're like, I would like to see it before again.
Yes.
My thing was, and you might not have as tough of a time with this because you're calling USL men's games. When I first retired from playing, I was like, you know what? I hated when announcers were critical of me. Like, I hated when announcers were critical. Like, I'm going to go into this and I'm just going to call a game. I'm not going to be critical of good people.
How would you know if announcers were critical of you?
Listen back,
Yeah,
of course.
Oh, you listen back. Okay,
Of
wow.
Of course,
Okay.
yeah, you listen back. You listen back and you're like, oh, I'm going to remember that.
Who is
Freaking-
this? Let me
I'm gonna
Google
remember that
them.
Taylor Twellman. For
Oh,
get
man,
my name
okay.
right.
Jeez.
But so I was like, I'm not gonna be critical. Everyone always turns critical. I'm not gonna be that guy. But then like 4 years into Vista, I was like, what is this guy doing? He should have done this. Like I just turned into like the most critical guy ever. So I'm
Yeah.
just a hypocrite across the board when it comes to broadcasting.
That's all right though. You can change though. It's not too. I mean, that poor guy's listening back to it now and he's hating you.
But
You don't want
he
that.
should have done better.
Though.
He
Wow.
should have done better.
It's good. I need to improve my energy. It's hard because
You're monotone.
yes, and people don't realize that you're in a studio, you're not at the game.
Right.
So I need to pretend that I'm just at the game, really excited to be in that atmosphere, but it's hard when you're calling it from the monitor and you're not there. I need to get my excitement level up a little.
Do you listen to yourself back? Like do
No,
you?
I can't.
You can't. Okay.
I never listen to myself back either. I try not to.
Yeah.
What so I think that one of the funny things too is like they're always like let the crowd energy like feed off the crowd energy and you're
Yeah.
like I'm sitting in a booth. I don't hear a thing. Like I have no idea what's
I
going
can't
on.
feed off this drum.
Yeah, this
so-
booth is very silent. I don't know
Yes.
what's going on. All right, so speaking of USL broadcasting stuff, you could be a little scout for us. What was the last game you called?
Oh my gosh, Tulsa against Monterey.
What are we dealing with when we face those two teams for the Tampa Bay Rowdies?
Well-
What do we got going on?
Sounds like sounds like you're having
Yeah,
to
what
break
do we
down a
got going
replay on the
Let's have a
spot,
little-
man.
Let's have a little scouting. Let's have a little scouting.
Well, Monterey just got a new coach. So that was actually his first coach call was with me.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was probably 4 days on the job, so he wasn't really familiar with the players that well, so he couldn't really talk that much about them.
So
but
you got no info from the coach call. That's always tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But he has a Spanish background, so we hope to see some nice soccer, some possession, building through the thirds. And then, yeah, Tulsa was just pretty good all around. They know how to score goals, and even if they concede, they get it back. So. But
Was that the game that Leggett scored his first goal? No, that was the one before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so now we got the scouting report. Dom.
But you guys are
Scouting
the
report,
only
Tulsa.
undefeated team, so you
Thank
don't
you.
have to worry
Preach
about
it.
anything.
What? That's not how it works. You know that.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's not
Worry
how
about
that works.
yourselves.
You
Keep
know
it
that.
going.
They know how that works. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Oh man. All right, Seth, you got anything?
No, I guess I feel good, kind of stumbling upon that, Jordyn likes to talk a lot of trash and that she gets physical and I might feel bad for the opponents or her husband. I don't know. There's a lot that I've been pondering over here, but
Oh gosh.
I did get some great advice, for my daughter, which I'm always trying to get. So, no, I appreciate it a lot. What are your plans now that the season is winding down?
I'm going to see my family in Toronto for a little bit, and then I'm actually taking a real off season this year because last season we had 3 weeks off after the championship. So, yeah, we went right back into it, but this year we have a little more time. So I'm actually going to go to Italy and Greece with one of my best friends and then
Nice.
get back to training before we start again.
Nice. All right, so that just led me to one more question that I want to
Okay.
ask you. Sometimes, like, when you have a really good run in a season, obviously winning it is worth everything that you have to sacrifice for winning it. But is that something that fans don't really realize is tough because you said you had a 3-week off season? So you go through the whole grind of the season. Is that something that you think, with the group this year was kind of hard to figure out?
I think when we started preseason, no one was kind of ready to go back. I'm always like itching to get back, and
Yeah.
I can't wait for the first day of preseason. But because it was so short, it was like my body's not even really recovered yet. Like mentally, I'm still kind of drained, and you just do the same thing over and over again for such a long season that it was tough. And there were a lot of injuries in preseason just because we didn't have that time to really recover. So I think we kind of started off on the wrong foot and then just couldn't really get going because there were so many changes to the lineup based off of availability.
Yeah. I think that's something that, like, as you peel back the layers of what it is to be an athlete, people don't really recognize on the outside. It's like, oh, they won the championship, everything should be great. And it's like, well, we got 3 weeks of rest after an extremely long season, and that's kind of hard to
Yeah, you play
recover from
you
as
play the
well.
most amount of games as
Right.
as the champ. Yeah, so that was the problem the Lightning had. As they went to the Stanley Cup final 3 years in a row. Playing probably a season worth of more games than anybody else. Yeah, that'll catch up with you.
Right, and at least you guys won it. I went 0-3 in titles, so we played the longest seasons and
no
didn't
way
get to
for
celebrate,
nothing.
and then didn't get to celebrate anything. So at least you guys won it. But no, thank you for being on. I think that the things that you do for the Tampa Bay community and the way that you've been growing the women's game, especially in this city, is awesome.
Thank you.
I think everybody in Tampa honestly owes you a big thank you for coming to the Sun and bringing, your background and your name recognition to the club and, obviously, like with whatever you have going on after, we wish you a ton of success.
Thanks.
I'm going to put you on the spot. We talked about getting you on to do some Rowdies content with us earlier in the season, and then the season started happening. But now that you're going to take a real off season, maybe you'll be around a little bit.
Let's do it.
We got a jersey
She's gonna
for
be in
you.
Italy. What do you mean?
No, she'll hang out after Italy. She can take her to Italy. We got a jersey for you.
Thank you.
So there's your jersey, and now you're kind of on the hook to at least come to
Love
5
it.
games?
Yeah.
5?
I say 5 to 7.
Let's start with 5. Number 5. It's perfect. Let's
Perfect. All right. Don't forget, Tampa Bay Rowdies, Tampa Bay Sun Camp this summer. Jordyn, thank you so much for coming. It's great
Thanks
talking
for
to you.
having me.
Thank you.
So fun, guys.
Awesome. Thanks again. And May 23rd, Tampa Bay Rowdies at home. Come check us out. Rowdysoccer.com.
Yoga on the pitch.
There you go.
The Rowdies are here, the Rowdies